Hello, Coco here, and I am back with more great cozy games that have zero farming. Now, farming games are great, no doubt about it, but there are so many other flavors of cozy games out there that I love and really want to talk about here on this channel. Last time, all the games I included were available on the Switch, so this time I wanted to do a Steam/PC version of that list. Now, a lot of these games will be available on other platforms as well as PC, so if that's the case, then there will be a little bar down below to tell you where you can play them as well. There should be a little something for everyone on this list, but I have purposely left out cozy action games because that video is coming out this time next week. Cozy action adventure is one of my favorite flavors of games out there, so I am really excited about that one, and if you are too, then please do subscribe and stick around. Now, just before we get started, subscriber shout out to Timberwolf. Oh my goodness, you have been such a huge supporter of this small channel, and I cannot thank you enough. You're always down there with love, with great comments, and it just means the world, especially at this stage of a YouTuber's journey. Guys, I cannot tell you how amazing it is that I started this channel 2 months ago and now there are 600 of you. That's too much, that's insane. You can all stop, you can go home. Don't, okay, stay there. I need the validation. It's fine, you can stay. Okay, that's all. Thank you so much, Timberwolf. It really means the world. Let's start the video. Let's do a video. Let's start the video. It has just turned to autumn apparently in Australia and it's a 30-degree day today, so I don't have tea. I have a boba tea thing that I bought from Woolies, so cheers. So first on my list is a game that I have loved dipping into every now and again, and that is a wonderful game called Fresh Start. This is a super cozy cleaning simulator where animals have written you letters asking for their habitat to be cleaned up, and you come along with a big vacuum thing to get the job done. You clean up all the mud and trash, find items to repair things, and even pat the animals in each area. You can also earn points and get upgrades to hold more water, clean faster, things like that. But my favorite thing is simply exploring and restoring each new area. There are only 10 or so areas to explore, but they're all based on different habitats and biomes, which keep each area feeling fresh. Now, strictly speaking, I shouldn't mention it in this video, but if you like the sound of this plus farming, the same developers actually have a game that is pretty much just that, called No Place Like Home. I have not played that one. I've heard that it's not as polished as this, but it's almost certainly bigger, and if you like farming and cleaning, it sounds like it could be up your alley. Since we're talking about cleaning simulators, I'm going to segue perfectly onto Power Wash Simulator, a game that I was not excited about at all. It sounds really dull, but then 5 seconds into the trailer, I was like, yeah, I get it. This is an amazing game. This game can take all of my money. It just looks so therapeutic. I can't explain. Let's just roll the footage. This game scratches an itch I never knew I had. The way it cleans the grime so effortlessly, plus they recently added Midgar from Final Fantasy and the mansion from Tomb Raider as extra downloadable levels. You can clean up everything from these games I love. I wish the creepy butler was still there to trap inside the closet, but apart from that, it's so cool that these extras are being added, and in case you wanted any extra encouragement, the Steam reviews on this game are as hilarious as they are brilliant, so go check them out as well. Next up, we have a short, sweet but sad, story-heavy game called To the Moon. I'm about halfway through doing this game as a Let's Play, and it is something truly special. You play as a pair of scientists that use technology to go through their patients' memories and alter them to fulfill their last wishes. The patient in this game is an elderly man called Johnny, and his wish is to go to the moon. It's a point-and-click game with a few puzzles, but mostly you're exploring each new memory and following along the story, going back in time through Johnny's memories. There is way more mystery in this game than I expected, and while it's super sad and emotional, I'm really keen to keep playing and learning. This is actually the first game I've ever done a Let's Play of, so if you're keen to watch that, then click somewhere up there. Hopefully I've linked it. Since we're talking about mysteries, I want to bring up a game now that everyone has been telling me to play, and yes, I will eventually play it soon. It might even be this week that I finally play Journey. Journey is described as an atmospheric adventure that lets you explore an ancient and mysterious world. You glide across the sands, you soar above ruins, and you discover its secrets. Much like Outer Wilds, this is a wonderful game to discover for yourself, so honestly, I'm being careful not to find out anything that might be a spoiler. But one wonderful thing I do know is that you can play with other people. You cannot directly talk to anyone, but there are simple ways to communicate, and honestly, the fact that this game seems filled with people who love to revisit it, wander and explore, and even guide new newcomers in their journey makes it feel super wholesome, and it's in my library and I promise I will play it soon. Now this is a game that probably seems pretty obvious, one I think everyone in the world knows about, and we could all use a reminder that it exists, is Sims 4, especially since the base game of Sims 4 is actually free. I would explain The Sims, but it feels like this is the one game that everyone knows about. You can customize characters, you make houses, you use cheat codes to get money but give your sim a job anyway, you make them upskill and excel in their career to a point of awkward introspection that I am not comfortable with. Was that just me? Should I move on? I find every few years I get a huge Sims urge, and once I've made my people, made my house, maybe they've got a child, I get bored and I move on to another game, but that doesn't mean I didn't have a great time on The Sims. Also, I'm a simple girl. I know that I'll like this game for a week, a month tops, and it's then not worth me getting any of the expansion packs. And I'm too lazy to look into this myself, but I know that there are things that other people have made that you can put into your Sims game, and people are so clever. There are so many beautiful things and items that you can put into your game to make it just make your perfect little Sims game. If you're less simple than me, then there are heaps of expansions that I would personally wait for a sale to buy, but the tempting ones to me are Cats and Dogs, the Eco Living expansions, the Tiny Living, and the Dream Home Decorator. They all look really cool. If you're a fan of The Sims, then The Tenants could be a really cool one for you to look at. It's like a crossover of The Sims and more of a management game. Basically, you're a landlord doing your best to manage and grow your investment portfolio. Plus, you get to take on jobs to fix terrible apartments. The more you do, the more you earn and the more items you can unlock. As a landlord, that also means you have to deal with your tenants, making sure they're happy and paying rent on time, which they may not always do. If you like Animal Crossing Happy Home Paradise, but you enjoy working to a budget and dealing with sassy clients, The Tenants is a great game you should check out. Another great management game that I have to mention is 2 Point Hospital. You may remember Theme Hospital from back in the day, and 2 Point Hospital is made by members of that same team, so you can expect more of the same very bizarre hospital shenanigans from this one too. Weirdly wonderful and addictively fun, in 2 Point Hospital you're tasked with managing a series of hospitals with differing needs. You need to get to at least a 1-star rating in each hospital in order to progress to the next one, but you can also choose to stay working on your current one or return at a later date if you want to. You're in charge of everything: the room layouts, the heating, the cooling, the decorating, hiring of staff. You have to keep all of your patients and staff happy and even give staff promotions, but you always have to keep an eye on your budget. 2 Point Hospital, like 2 Point Campus, is available on the Switch as well, but my nostalgia for Theme Hospital makes me really love this game on the PC, but of course, each to your own. The 2 Point games pair smart management with silly characteristics perfectly, and honestly I don't think having patients come in with light bulbs on their head complaining of lightheadedness will ever get old. Next comes a short game with a good story and very chill gameplay, Assemble with Care. I haven't got to play this game myself yet, but after one of the mini games in I Am Future, I know that assembling things is something that I kind of really like, really vibe with in a game, so I know this one is up my alley. Assemble with Care follows Maria, a traveling antique restorer who arrives at a beautiful town full of objects and their owners that need fixing. This game has full voice acting in both English and Spanish, and each puzzle sees you fix something new. At about 90 minutes of game length, it's probably one of the shorter games on this list, but if you like games like Season or A Little to the Left, I think you should check this one out. Now, if you don't know anything about this next series, then it might sound really boring, but Goat Simulator 3 is anything but goats grazing in a field. Honestly, imagine Grand Theft Auto and Gang Beasts but with goats, and you're a lot closer to Goat Simulator 3. This is exactly the kind of mad fun I want with a bunch of friends. Goat Simulator 3 is set in an open world full of chaos and pop culture references that you, a goat, can do with as you please. Since it's open world, you can do whatever you want whenever you want, but you also do have quests to complete. You can increase your Illuminati ranking, and you can upgrade your goat castle. Plus, there are heaps of items to collect, including wings that actually make you fly around the city. If you're playing multiplayer, there are also great minigames to discover, such as The Floor is Lava and Hide and Seek, where you hide as objects by licking them. This is the perfect unhinged cozy game, and even the title is unhinged. There's no Goat Simulator 2, they went straight to 3. But that is just part of the ridiculous charm that is bound to leave you with a smile on your face. Next up, we have a game called Unpacking. Again, one of the shorter games on this list, but it's definitely not one to overlook. The game begins by presenting you with a childhood bedroom and some boxes full of possessions to unpack. There are usually multiple places you can put certain objects, but occasionally it will flash at you to say, I Don't Go Here. All the rooms and eventually houses that you unpack belong to the same person throughout their life, meaning you can work out how they are changing as they grow, and it's really quite special to see what possessions stay with them throughout their life. This might be one that you want to play, or it might be one that you might want to watch someone play. I don't want to say too much about it because I feel like that's the gist of it and I don't want to really give any of the story away. So if from that it looks like it's a cute game, then really do check it out. This next one may not strike you as cozy, but the gameplay in 12 minutes is actually perfect for a cozy gamer that loves a thriller and mystery. In 12 minutes, your character relives the same 12 minutes over and over, where a romantic evening with your wife turns into a nightmare with police breaking into your home, your wife getting accused of murder, and then they beat you to death. And if that doesn't sound cozy enough, your character remembers everything and is self-aware of that too. Your character knows they are stuck in some weird time loop, and only when you get every interaction and decision exactly right can you finally progress. This game is also brilliantly voice acted by James McAvoy, Daisy Ridley, and William Dafoe. Honestly, despite the whole thing being top-down, it feels like you get to play a movie, and it would be a great way to spend an evening. I would even say to play it with a group of friends so that you can experience it together. So I think we've managed to get through at least 10 games now without a story-heavy, sad pixel game. So we're ready for one more, aren't we? In fact, can I do two? Can I do two with you right now? Yeah? Thank you. I want to talk about these two games at the same time because I only just saw through Peyton Corner's channel, and please do follow her if you're somehow not already, that these two games are linked and set in the same world. These games are Rakuen, which is already out, and Mr. Saito, which comes out I think the 24th of March this month. Now I actually found out about Mr. Saito first, so that's the game I want to start talking about. This game was out later this month, and our story begins very relatably with a white-collar worker struggling to find meaning in a life that seems to be full of overtime and isolation. Mr. Saito ends up in hospital after an accident, and while there he finds himself entering a fantasy world where an unexpected friend takes him on a life-changing adventure. So in a few weeks Mr. Saito will be released, and there is already a demo available on Steam if you want to jump in straight away, or you can of course go and play Rakuen, but Peyton pointed out that once Mr. Saito is released at the end of the month, there is going to be a deluxe version of Rakuen available on the Switch, and I hope that that's the same on Steam, where it includes both games plus an animated film collection called Farmer in the Sky. In Rakuen, we join a boy in hospital who asks his mother to escort him to a fantasy world from his favourite storybook, Rakuen. Rakuen is a Japanese word that translates to pleasure garden or paradise, and it's safe to say that the colourful, magical, whimsical world fits that perfectly. However, the boy soon finds out that some of the other inhabitants are also people from the hospital, such as a cranky old man who appears as a bear. The boy learns that each of these people have secrets and struggles that he wants to help with, and he is able to do so through both the hospital and the world of Rakuen. While there's no fighting, there are still some dungeons plus puzzles and mysteries to solve while you make each person's life a little bit better. If you'd like to play a game that restores your faith in humanity and have a little cry, then Rakuen and Mr. Saito are for you. Last on my list, I have a super smooth rhythm game called Sayonara Wild Hearts that has narration from Queen Latifah. Now I'm sure that's already sold you, but just in case, here is a little bit more information. As the heart of a young woman breaks, the balance of the universe is disturbed. A diamond butterfly appears in her dreams and leads her through a highway in the sky where she finds her other self, a masked biker called the Fool. You collect hearts, avoid obstacles, and fight enemies, getting the timing exactly right to succeed. This is a really entertaining game that honestly makes you feel like you're in a music video in some surreal adventure that you can complete in about an hour. I find that rhythm games are another genre that scratch a really good itch inside my brain, and so even though it's quite a short game, I know it's one that I would be replaying a lot. The fast pace makes me think of my favourite Sonic games, but with a really dreamy and honestly hypnotic art style that I love. And that is it for this video. That is 14 really amazing cozy games that you can play on PC with no farming. If you'd like to see the Nintendo Switch version of this list, I will link it somewhere here. Plus make sure to subscribe, as my favourite cozy action games will be featured here this time next week. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for your support. If you liked this video and you found it useful, please do give the like button a little tappy tap, and let me know down below which game is your favourite, or let me know which game is your favourite that I missed on this list. That is all for now. I will see you in the next one. Bye!